change as you go into league play?
Familiarity, I think, is the biggest thing. I think probably more this year than a year ago, but familiarity. There's so much. There's 12 games tape that you can watch, and I think everybody's been on TV enough that our guys watch them. Everybody's guys watch them, so I just think they're a lot more familiar.
Shepard makes a big difference on your team, doesn't he?
Well, I think both of those big guys do. I think when you put 2 6'9" guys on the back line of a 2-3 zone, there's not near as much room, and they can both score it. So yeah, I think they both make a big difference. They didn't have that kind of size a year ago.
You look at TCU and see that they're only averaging like 70 or 71 point, whatever it is, and you say, well, they're not that great of an offensive team, but when you consider they were like 55 points last year, I mean, how much improved are they offensively?
Well, I think the pace of the game has a lot to do with that too. It's a lot of times not how many points you give up; it's how many points you give up in relation to how many you score. And they create off their defense. I think the more you watch them, the more you realize how many hands they get on balls, how many interceptions they get, how many runouts they get as a result of that. And I think they've got more guys who can make shots. And when you've got a point guard like they have that draws so much attention and creates so well, other guys are going to get pretty good looks. But I think the pace of the game, I think they're playing faster. They were very half court a year ago. I know that's not the way Trent wanted to play, but that's kind of the hand he was dealt, and I think he'd like to play a little faster, as I think most of us would.
What has happened with Aaron Harris, I guess, best way to put it. He wasn't a big scorer in high school. Here he is, sophomore, leading the big role in scoring average of 19 points a game. What did you see, or what did you decide to pull out of him or put in him?
Well, I think first, Bobby's a very competitive kid. I don't think anybody could foresee him leading the team in scoring a year ago. I didn't know how much playing time he was going to get, and he just competed so hard in practice every day, and he's put in a enormous amount of time. And most of our guys do, but I think him and Terry and Wani and Kevin Areen put in probably more time than anybody does. Not that the other guys don't, they do, but I don't think to the extent those guys do.
The skills that he has, he must have developed a lot of them since he got here, as opposed to what he had before he got here.
His ball skills have gotten so much better, which enables him to get to the foul line more. He could always shoot the ball. I think it was just he played on such a loaded high school team that I think they had a lot of balance for one, and I think he wasn't really the primary option. But I think one of the things when we went in to watch him, one of the things that we liked was he could make shots.
Teams defend him. These guys saw him play a good bit last year.
You try to defend him before the catch as much as you can, I think. I think what he's developed, though, is he's able to score more ways than he could before. You know, he scores it a little bit off the bounce. You know, he gets to the foul line more. He scores it more in transition. And in all honesty, I think Wani's looking for him more.
Notice Henderson scored a little more around the basket against Weaver. Was that by design, or was that just the way the game went?
Well, he struggled shooting the ball the game before. I mean, really struggled shooting at the Purdue game. And there's so much psychology, I think, involved sometimes. You know, you get 2 layups and then you miss a jumper and you still think you're playing pretty well. You know, you got it going. And I think in the games where Terry has shot it well, he has got some layups. He's got some transition baskets. He's got some follow baskets. In the Purdue game, he didn't get a rebound, and that's not good for his game, and it's certainly not good for us. You know, so, and I think that was a point of emphasis to him was, you know, you've got to help us rebound the ball, and he's very capable. He's very athletic. But, I mean, I just think, you know, you take 7 jump shots and you make 1, you say, I'm having an awfully bad day here. But go score a couple layups, and then all of a sudden, you know, you're 3 for 7, it isn't all that bad.
Seems like he's getting more comfortable with his back to the basket down there, posting up some more yards.
Well, I mean, I think he's starting to see the importance of it. I mean, you look at, you know, arguably the 2 best scoring guards in the last however many years, and when Michael started getting old, he started putting people on his back and scoring in the post. As Kobe's gotten older, he's put people on his back and scored in the post. And I think to the point that both of them went and spent time with Elijah Wan. And, you know, you try to make guys aware of that, but I think they already are aware of it to a degree that's an awfully valuable option for you. I mean, I think that's the thing that made Day so good, is he could score it so many different ways.
Speaking of points of emphasis, since the Gonzaga game, your team has shot free throws like at 80% or something like that. Where did that come from? What kind of light went on?
Bob, I was shocked we didn't shoot it better than what we were shooting it, because we shoot so many of them, you know. I mean, having this facility makes a world of difference. And so we shoot so many more of them. You know, when they make 100 a day, and then then the guys, I think, that missed a few go in and shoot even more. So it's so much repetition.
Much of a difference does it make to be able to stay out in Texas for the quick turnaround and have to fly back out?
Saves us a trip. And saves us a couple nights' sleep. I think that helps considerably. I mean, I think honestly, the thing that the league really needs to think about is you should never play home on Saturday, Monday. You know, somebody's got to travel, so they should have a home game on Saturday. And I mean, for us, it's different. That the Saturday, Monday thing's for us different, but you know, why wouldn't you put the home team on the road on Saturday so they have to travel too? I mean, I think that evens things out about as well as you can even it out.
You haven't seen a whole lot of really big guys like Shepard. I guess maybe we was just trying to think of it beforehand, but Gonzaga. Guys like that are really big. Do you know how well your guys can hang against a guy physically inside, or is that something you're still going to have to figure out as you go along and see a couple more?
No, I think if there's a good thing about it, it's a freshman and a sophomore for them. So it's not, they're not playing against seniors. World of difference in seniors and freshmen in physical maturity and mental maturity.
Do you feel any better taking this team out on the road as opposed to like the Virginia Tech, Missouri games? Big difference.
I mean, believe it or not, I thought we went into Virginia Tech with a lot of confidence. I thought, Missouri we had confidence, and I don't think being on the road was the problem. I think our problem was we just didn't sustain anything, and I think that's been another point of emphasis is just that you got to play for 40 minutes. You can't take plays off. You can't get ahead and take shots that you wouldn't take in a close game, or be careless with the ball. And hopefully we're getting better at that. I think that's the biggest thing. I mean, you don't want to give up runs like we gave up. I mean, we gave up a huge run to Virginia Tech and then a huge run to Missouri. You can't do that.
Coach, how about the conference as a whole? There's 7 teams either ranked or receiving votes in the AP poll. Is this year's Big 12 comparable to any Big East conferences that you saw seasons ago?
I think the Big East always in 1 through 8 or 9 was pretty good. I think the difference in this league is it's not top heavy, like the Big East was. You don't look at a schedule and say, well, we ought to win this one and this one and this one and this one. You can do that in the Big East. You can't do that in the Big 12. Not that I ever did that. But
I did.
I didn't have to. Mess did it for me.
How about Jawan? Before the season, did you envision him? Right now, he's just one of 3 players to average double figures in scoring, 6+ rebounds and 6+ assists. Did you envision that out of him this year?
Yeah, he's a talented guy. I mean, he's probably as fast and as athletic as anybody at that position. So yeah, I mean, he was had a heck of a career in Dayton and at Oak Hill. And yeah, I thought that all along. I thought that a year ago. But it took a little while, obviously, I think, just to understand, what we needed done. The great thing about him is he's really bought in. I mean, he's really bought in. He really tries to understand what you want done, which I think is a big reason for his success as well. He knows where guys are supposed to be. Hard being a point guard. It's like being a quarterback, not knowing where your receivers are running, It's a recipe for disaster. The point guard's got to know where guys are going to be.
Even though you and Mess can't look and see
Mess
you're
does.
going to win this one and this one and this one, you aren't opening the season with Kansas and Oklahoma State. Is that a good thing that you kind of slide into, I don't want to say the bottom half, but the easier part? And does it put some more pressure on you that these are games you have to win?
I don't know. I think we got to win them all, Dave. I mean, if we're gonna realize what these guys want to realize, we're gonna have to win a bunch of games. It's hard. I mean, in all honesty, it's hard when you start looking ahead and you don't take care of your business. It's not a good thing. And our total focus has been on TCU, and then when that one's over with on Saturday night, we'll start on Texas Tech.
About TCU, they're more successful this year, I think, because some of their young guys, maybe they're playing faster. What you've seen, is there something that explains their record so far?
Making shots, like they struggled to make shots on a consistent basis a year ago, and they're making shots. They got two guys shooting over 40% from three. They can score it close, and they do score it close. They really try to run things to get it close, and they play inside out, which is the easiest shots to make. Those are like driveway shots, and they're just better. And I think everybody has always respected Trent as a basketball coach. His kids always played hard. They always competed, and he ran good stuff. And it's just, you can run all the good stuff you want when the open guy don't make a shot. All of a sudden you become a bad coach.